Welcome back, everybody. Derrick Sue, your East Oakland advocate. Well, a new piece of legislation has just come across my email, and it is horrendous. And the problem with this piece of legislation, it specifically targets a group, several groups. Number one, the legislation is aimed at two counties only here in California, Alameda County and Los Angeles County. And what the legislation is, it's literally just taking people's RVs, trailers, uh, at, as their homes. They're just taking them. No compensation, no housing. And here's how it's written. It is written in the fact that if law enforcement comes across these homes that are being used right now in Alameda County and Los Angeles County, uh, if the trailer has a value of less than $4,000 and the registration is expired or non-existent, or it does not have tags, it can be confiscated and towed away immediately. No notice, no compensation, nothing. No offer of housing, nothing. And so this is a devastating piece of legislation. While some people are saying it's absolutely necessary, it is not. It is a horrible way to treat people, violate their rights. And that's the problem that a lot of legislation has here against the homeless. And this courts have sided with the homeless population in the fact that cities, counties, and states have violated our constitutional rights, specifically the First Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, Eighth Amendment, and the 14th Amendment. So all of those are violations of our constitutional rights. Regardless of whether you like us or not, is irrelevant. We are still protected by constitutional rights. And so we've been proposing housing solutions since 2017. And the solutions are there. The solutions have been there. And now Alameda County actually has a vehicle to fund this, which is called Measure W. Measure W was put in place to collect 1/2 of 1 cent on the sale tax of everything in Alameda County. And that 1/2 cent adds up over time. And the life span of this particular piece of legislation was for 10 years, a single decade. And it was proposed to raise $1.5 billion in revenue with just a 1/2 cent tax, sales tax on everything in Alameda County. And as of this past Friday, we were sitting at $960 million in funding. And so you're probably saying, well, why isn't the funding being distributed? Well, number one, we just, this year, we finally cleared all the court hurdles against Measure W. And so we've satisfied all of that. And now what has to happen is a board for distribution has to be put together. And in Measure W, it specifically has a paragraph that mandates a homeless person to be sitting on the distribution board. That way, it keeps everybody honest, keeps all the deep pocket politicians out of your pocket, and make sure that they're not pocketing your money like they've done in the past. And that's the purpose of the homeless person being on the board, to make sure that the monies are distributed to projects that are viable and have the highest potential of success. And then those of you are also saying, well, if you put these places in their current, well, in any situation, you have to have a management to oversee that. Absolutely right. And we're proposing a complete overhaul of the model that exists now, because over the past decade, the city of Oakland has spent over $1 billion. That includes the sweeps, the money that were paid to the police and DPW, over $1 billion of wasted taxpayer dollars. And with that, that could have been used for creating the deeply affordable housing, which is what I've been proposing since 2017. And now we have a funding vehicle, which is Measure W, which actually funds those projects. And I already have identified 50 acres of open and available real estate here in East Oakland. And one of the projects is literally sitting right behind me on the other side of this fence. It's a 20-acre site, former AT&T service yard. It's in an area, they abandoned this piece of property because of the amount of crime that they were experiencing on their trucks and the losses that they were experiencing. And then also on the property, 3 sides of the AT&T property already houses homeless folks in trailers, RVs, and vehicles. And then myself, who has a pop-up shelter. So that situation is not going to change anytime soon. And so the likelihood of a developer or anybody coming in to develop the property behind me is slim and none, because the high amount of crime going on in the area. And then the property on 3 of 4 sides is surrounded with homeless folks. So, and then across the street from me, straight in front of me, is another property which is about to become available and for sale shortly. It's being cleaned up. It was a former illegal cannabis grow operation. Sits on 10 acres and has 5 buildings on the property already. We can develop the interior portion of each of the buildings and create at least 240 deeply affordable units for youth, for a youth center. This youth center across the street from me can house 249 up to 300 individuals in their own rooms. We're not talking dorms, we're talking individual apartments for the youth, and this center will have everything that they'll need, plus career job training, placement, schooling, assistance. So that helps the young folks, our future of Oakland, to get a good foothold here in Oakland and have housing, have the opportunities that they need to become successful. So, folks, talk to your state senator, your representatives on this particular matter, AB 630, and that's what the bill is called, AB 630, Assembly Bill 630. And you want to tell your representative to vote no, to encourage Gavin Newsom to veto the piece of legislation about to come to his desk in the next 2 weeks. We want to make sure that this dies immediately. Thanks for joining me today. We'll be right back.